Hello,
Hello.
everybody.
Hello, hello.
Welcome to Content Creators Connect. We are all about encouraging the three C's here: connecting with others via video, content development that builds your personal brand, and creators sharing their experience despite their distance.
The C3 team member leading this evening is Kevin. We love him and also know him as Classic Mac to all of his online community, and he is a strong advocate in finding low cost tools to help you in your live streaming journey. Kevin, I have to ask you this. You have covered Canva in so many different ways, and I'll be honest with you, I'm super excited about what 5 hacks you're going to be sharing because you continue to bring great value around Canva, because we all know that it is a great tool to use for creating your live streaming graphics. But after using it for a while, you may have started using some same fonts and videos and templates for your brand, and your topic today, it truly does sound interesting to help boost your creativity in your creation process. I'm super excited to hear what you have. So share with us what it is that, a little glimpse of why you picked more Canvas stuff. Like I'm excited because what else could you possibly be sharing with us? Please bring it.
Why, thanks, Manny. And yeah, I've been using Canva for quite a while. And yeah, I'm sort of drifting towards using the same fonts because that's sort of what I have picked for my brand, sort of thing. But it's like you can still use the same fonts, but let's just tweak them just a little bit. And today I'm going to show you a couple of little tweaks that you can actually use your same brand colors and your same fonts and your whole branding, but just make it look slightly different to keep that excitement in your presentations, whether it be your graphics or overlays. So I'm curious, Dory, have you um, ever thought about changing up your graphics or changing up the colors in your branding at all? So in
Mm,
in in Canva.
Well, uh, so I typically kind of stay in my lane and I stay in my wheelhouse with the branding kit that I built. I mean, my branding kit has a lot of variety in it. So I think that helps a lot. I have, 5 main colors and I've added a few, let's call them accessory colors along the way, those secondary colors. So my palette's pretty big. As far as font styles go, I'm a little more bland with those. Like I have maybe 2, 3 max that I switch between. I'm old school, so I've always been trained that like you build a kit and it's a font style, it's colors, it's you don't really deviate from that. But I will say in some of my other endeavors, like my school projects, when I'm helping other people come up with design ideas, I do really like to step out and see what else is out there, especially check out some of the new stuff. So I like the idea of doing something to keep it new and fresh. So I'm really eager to kind of see these hacks that you have planned for tonight. Manny, what about you?
So when it comes to clients, I do have a few clients where I use the same kit, the color kit, the whole color code to match a lot of what they're doing, and the same fonts. And I even use extensions to help me know what kind of fonts and stuff like that. But from a personal standpoint, I don't have a consistency, to be completely honest with you, especially for the thumbnails. I'm still trying to find, there's still a whole level or three above of where I'm trying to get to when it comes to these thumbnails. So I'm really interested as to what Kevin's going to be sharing, because I could really use some more ideas when it comes to the different fonts and how you can keep the same ones and just adjust a little bit, whether it's the color or whatever that those changes can be. So I'm really, you know for me, on a personal, I don't have a consistent brand kit, a consistent color that goes into every single piece of work. content that I put up. So I'm going to say not really for myself, but for clients, obviously have to stay on point for what they're trying to do. For me, I'm still trying to find my creativity when it comes to consistent font that I'm in love with, let's say. So that's why I think that with what you're sharing, Kevin, this is going to be great. And my friends, if this is the type of content that you'd like to see more of, please consider hitting that subscribe button and the notification bell. That way you do get notified when we go live or put up any type of content. And with that being said, let's go ahead and hear what Kevin's going to bring us today. So we're going to move on to that content. Take it away, Kevin. Rock this baby up.
Why, thank you for putting no pressure on me whatsoever, Manny. Do appreciate that. So, but rather than doing a presentation about it, why don't we just jump on into Canva, because that's the way you learn, is by doing this and going in and having fun with all of these different things. So one of the things that I was looking at and sort of seeing, what are the trends in 2023? And one of the big trends coming up and people are using a lot is called textured text. So what we're going to do is just create some text here. And let's just add a text box into the middle here. And why don't we just use our content creators connect? And I'm going to make it so that we have this relatively large so everyone can see. And try and center it. There we go. And then sort of one of the hacks that I'm going to do to get to that textured text is we need to try and find a font that will actually show that texture on the text very well. Right now, as you can tell, it's kind of small and skinny, so you really wouldn't be able to check out or see the texture on it. So what I'm going to do is going to highlight it and select a different type of font. And what is one that we could use? Let's see. Let's try League Spartan. Is that going to make it? Yeah, nice. And you see there's a lot of area in here where you can actually see some texture. And if you happen to notice, this is actually my tip number 2 that I'm going to go into. If you notice up at the top of Canva, no matter if it's a free or a pro font that you have, every once in a while you'll see some of the ability to bold or italicize the letters is gone. So one of the tips that I'm sharing with you is if you actually highlight, go into the effects, go into outline. Now you notice that there's sort of a gray all the way around. What you do is now change that gray to a black. And now you can change the thickness to make it more bold or less bold.
That's brilliant, Kevin. That's brilliant.
So yeah, you're able to, if you wanted something that was just not quite bold enough for you, but you don't have the option to hit that bold. So we're going to actually make this a little bit thicker so that we can actually see that texture quite well. So like I said, one of the themes this year is texture. So now we're going to go into our elements and we're going to look for texture. And then what you're going to be looking for is in the element section, the graphics. So let's take a look and see all of them. And yeah, you won't, I'm going to sort of surprise you when you see this graphic over top. because if you just put a graphic over top, it doesn't really look like much, but actually that one doesn't, I don't care for the looks of that one, so we'll get rid of that one. And what other textures are there here? And as always, if you are into the whole AI, this magic recommendation actually will provide you with some textures as well. And I wanted something, I think a little more. Trying to select the ones that are free for everyone here. So the ones with the little crown is for the pro account. And so let's just select this one. So this one is black. But if you go in and change the color to white, now you can see and adjust the texture, whether it be heavy in one area, or you can make it smaller and less, and then you can just duplicate that and move it into a different section as well. And what will really make it pop is we're going to change this to a white color. Then we're going to go to the background and change it to a solid black. So now this texture, it was white. So now you can go in and change the color to back to its original black. So I'll get rid of this one. And then that just gives it a little bit of extra oomph when you're actually trying to present to something, whether it be a poster, a social post, just giving it that extra oomph, I guess. But as you can tell, you're still using your same font. You can stay within your brand family, and you can use whatever colors that you want. So this top layer could actually be whatever brand color that you want. So if you wanted, say for instance, your brand color was purple, actually no, background, we want to go back and select that. And there you can change the color, and then you can change the where are we here? The elements. Back to the texture. And just try it with something that has less, I guess, more spread out type of design. Almost like a, let's get rid of that one. And that one's yellow or gold, and we're just going to change that to black. There, that's a lot more subtle. So you sort of have some texture on your letters so that you can actually see it's not absolutely perfect, but it looks like a little worn out as well. So that was number, I think I probably put about 2 or 3 of them in together there. One other one that I wanted to really share with you is a really cool effect. So for that, let me just start a new one. We will do another Instagram post, and what this is going to do is, if you noticed on the thumbnail, sort of having your picture sandwiched between a couple of the fonts. So we're going to put text in again and make this nice and large for everyone to see. Okay. creators connect. And we'll make it nice and large. And then what we're going to want to do is highlight and select it and duplicate it. And then the duplicate, we're actually going to go into the effects and do the hollow option. And what that does is it has the same effect or the same font, but it's just a matter of outlining it as opposed to filled. So now that we actually have this, I'm actually going to select both of them and resize that. And we're just going to go in and I know we'll put a photo of a puppy. So right now, let's, and I happen to have the pro account here. So I'm actually going to get rid of the background here through the edit the photo and background remover. And what I want to do is I want to sandwich this picture in between those fonts. And then you'll really see a cool effect happen. And the way you do that is it's up at the very top of your drawing. It's called position. And then you actually have something called layers. So you can actually, just like in any Photoshop or any photo editing software, you have layers of where things are. And here you just can go in and now you can put that picture in between. So now when you move the picture around, you can see it. There we go. Make it a little bit bigger. You can actually see it's actually sandwiched in between the solid color background and the hollow front. And I keep doing that. I need to select both of them at the same time. And the way you can do that is like for thumbnails, just have a slight overlap of something. Like you really don't want to have your whole picture in behind. But if you just have a little hint of like the heads popping up, and it really becomes noticeable if you change your background as well to a different color. You can see the head sort of popping up. Actually, let's go something a little bit darker. There we go. Because the dog's heads are a little bit lighter, so you're able to actually see them. So yeah, just designing your thumbnails, you could just give that illusion of, hey, that's something kind of magical happening there. How are you actually doing that? And as you know, Canva has a ton of pictures that you're able to use as well. But if you're not finding what you want, you can actually use other pictures through the apps that they have in the store here. The App Store, you can go and discover a ton of different apps, and you can sort of see the ones that are trending. But if you're looking for something specific, I'm looking more like photos. There's tons of photos within Canva, but you can actually go within the app section, and I already have them installed. But so you can search Canva apps, and one I have installed is Pixabay. So then you can just click on that and it searches through all of these copyright-free pictures as well. So if you're looking for something specific that just happens to not be in the Canva library, go to Pixabay and see if it might be something there. And then another app as well is Pexels. So there are tons of photos and amazing pictures out there for you to go and use for your stream, for your uh, thumbnails, for your social posts. So yeah, and go and explore all of these apps. Um, there are tons of different apps for various things. So if you want to do something that is related to photos, there's tons of those types of things, productivity tools as well. You can connect your Google Drive. If you have photos up there, you can connect it to, I believe you can connect, see if you can connect it to a Dropbox. Let's do a brand new one here. But there's a ton of apps for you to go and so yeah, trending. So you can charts, photo, bulk creation, audio, background, logos, videos. You can translate as well. Yeah, your Google Drive, you can do that. These are popular ones. Emojis, create QR codes, embed your Google Photos, create something new. You can connect it to a Bitmoji account if you have one. And just go and discover. There's a ton of great apps on there to be able to bring in pictures to help out with your when I'm actually yes, it can. It does allow you to go to your connect to your Dropbox as well. And also, I'd heard Instagram and Facebook, you can connect your accounts to that. So you can go and pull pictures from your old posts as well. So go and take a look going, hey, I remember I did something last year on celebrating a holiday and I wanted to use that picture again. So you can go in, grab that picture, bring it into Canva and reuse it for another project that you have. And what's another wonderful tool that I have here? That one will wait. Last one on this particular Instagram post is about creating gradients. Like when you go into your backgrounds, you have the option of doing just actual pictures, patterns, but you also have gradients as well. So, and it's kind of limited as to the ones that are there, but what if you could actually make your own? So that's what I'm going to show you how to do. So we're actually going to go into the background color and we're going to add a color. And this is a new update in Canva is rather than a solid color, you can actually go into gradient here. And in this gradient, you get to add your own colors. So here you start adding your brand colors. So if you know what the hex code is, or if you just know sort of what the area it is going to be, you can sort of guesstimate where it's going to be. So you select that for one. And then for this other one, say that you're more into the pink realm. So go around there, purple, pink, around there. And then from there, you have your brand colors listed there, and you have different formats of gradients. You can go horizontal or vertical, diagonal, or even a circular pattern as well, or circular from one of the corners. And of course, you can always just take a screenshot and flip it if that's what you're wanting to do. So I think that is an amazing tool to be able to have in your arsenal so you can create everything with your own brand colors. And then the last one, and then I'll give you a bonus one after as well. So last one, we'll go back to the home screen and we are going to make a YouTube thumbnail because this works the best in the 16:9 format. And what I'm going to be doing is using photo frames to help show off your brand, I guess is the way. So I'm going to go and I'm going to use the letter C. So I'm going to go letter C frame. Oh, but I wanted to do that. Was it elements? There we go. So it's under the frames. So we're going to see all. And here, the letter C frame, if you hit the ellipses on there, and if you have a specific font that you're using for your brand, you can check and see. Like this is a bold letter C icon. This is a grandier upper C, lowercase tropical letter frame. So if you happen to have a certain font that is in Canva, definitely take a look and do it here. So I'm just going to let's use this one. So the bold letter C. So I'm going to use this one. And rather than spelling out Content Creators Connect, I'm just going to copy and paste and do CCC for Content Creators Connect or C3. So duplicate it, duplicate. And just make them all align or just do it very quickly. Can align elements so they're all left, right, or center. And they are all lined up, it looks like it. So this is the fun part. So now we're going to go into videos and we're going to make it look really fancy. So we're going to look for some red smoke. Spell. And we're just going to take a look at the different types of smoke that we have available here. And I want it to go from one side to the other. So I'm wondering, is this the one? Yeah, so it's sort of blowing out from one end, going to the other. And what I'm going to do, I'm just going to be putting this in all of the 3 different C's. But the cool part is now you have to make it the same size as the screen. That's why I was saying the 16:9 ratio is a lot better. So then you do that and do the same for the other C's. And a little bit there and done there. Then the last one. That one over. There we go. And now to get the full effect of this, you just see 3 black C's on the screen. What you want to do now is go to your background, make it a solid black background. And now we're going to do full screen and you'll see how cool of effect this is going to be. So that red smoke is filtering and filling all of those different C's. So you can definitely have some fun with the different videos and the different colors that are related to your brand. And once again, sticking with your same font, same brand identity as well.
ooh, 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 ooh. This is a stinger for the beginning of your streams with
There
your
you
Nice.
logo,
go.
with your whoa.
That's
Absolutely.
awesome.
So I have one more really cool effect that I found out about, and we'll do it right now. It's sort of mind-boggling. It's making your makes it was making my mind think, how did it actually look like that? But it's so simple the way they did it. So I'm actually just going to do a text box. And I'm going to make it all capital letters. And I need to put there. There we go. And I'm going to make this all bold. And center that. There we go. Now we're going to be duplicating this once and 3 times. And the fun part is now we're going to go into elements. We're going to draw a nice little black square. Actually, I'm going to make this a little bit bigger. Let's delete that, delete it. And center, center, center. There we go. And duplicate. So one down there, one up there. But this actually, I should probably make this a white font so they're able to see it once I do. Position, layers, and I want to put this above that so you can actually see that. Then do that, but that's going to go in behind. Is it behind? Is it that one? And it's where are we here? Position, make that white as well. There we go. Okay, this worked better this afternoon when I was testing it out. Of course, it doesn't work when you need it to.
Been there, done that.
So, how about we just scrap that for now? But essentially, it was like the first half of the word content was going to be half white, half black. Creators in the middle, and then connect was going to be half white and then half black as well. So it was a really cool effect when I did it. I should have taken a snapshot and remembered how to do it. So those were my 5 tips that I had to try and up your Canva game a bit, trying to use your existing brand colors, your brand fonts as well, keeping loyal to them, but just giving them a little bit of a spark to move your game up just one little notch. So why don't we head on over? And I'm very curious to hear the comments from my cohorts here, from Dory and from Manny. So, Manny, I'd love to hear what if you learned anything new. If so, what was your favorite tip that was produced today?
Yes. One that really caught me that did not seem hard to do at all, and I haven't even thought about this. I love how you did the smoke behind the letters. That was awesome. That was my biggest takeaway because I hadn't even thought of anything like that. And being able to even use that, as Dory said, as a stinger in my videos, whether it's live or other, like that would make it so much easier. And I don't know if I was your inspiration to use red smoke, because of all, because of my channel. I'm just kidding, of course. But that was my biggest takeaway, was how much more graphic and appeal. I don't know if appeal is the right word, but the way you brought that smoke into those three letters, and how I visually saw, like, oh, I could easily do something along these lines. Like, you helped me get a quick creative thought, just like you did with Dory when she quickly thought. So that was my biggest takeaway. Dory, what about you?
Yeah, Kevin, holy cow, my mind is blown. I was like, so I had my notes app open here and I was like, and I was managing the comments and like also trying to take notes for myself. So I need to go back and I need to watch each of these hacks again and probably some of them in slow motion. So I will say this though, the quick hack that you mentioned about aligning everything, like selecting it and doing the alignment, I know it wasn't actually related to the effects, but that in and of itself was worth the price of admission. Like what a huge time-saving hack that is when you're trying to get everything lined up vertically and horizontally on a page. That was amazing. And also the red smoke. Manny thinks it was for him, but I know secretly it was for me for my D&D channel.
I can see
So,
that happening. Yeah.
I'm
Truth.
totally stealing that. I'm totally stealing that. I already have a vision of like, the role player role and like maybe like a dice graphic with like the red smoke behind it. Oh my God. Okay. I'm sectioning off a couple hours for Canva tomorrow. But yeah,
Gotta
I
love
mean
it.
that was so cool. And Anna was getting a lot of value. I don't know if you guys saw like some of the comments that she was dropping. Anna is a huge Canva user as well. And she didn't even know like some of the things that you were showing. She didn't have any idea that Canva could do that. And I think that is why we are here, to be brutally honest, is to just show those little things that maybe people either A, need a reminder of, or B, didn't even know they existed. One of the other things that I pointed out when you brought it up was the use of layers. I think using layers in Canva is an underutilized tool, and there's so much value in that. So I think it's important to remember that for people to remember that Canva has that capability. What else
Yeah.
did you guys
I love
think?
the part that you did with the where you took one and shadowing, when you were shadowing the words. That was another one. I have used the shadowing in the past in for lettering, so I love to get that refresher on that, because it was like, oh yeah. And it even helped me go a little step further in the aspect of, like, oh boy, you could even be more creative in a lot of the art that Canva has, just by what you were sharing with using um one whole design over another, and kind of making that a duplicate in a way that you, and I think that's what you were trying to do towards the end, where you were using multiple aspects, but you were going to change the color and change that a little bit to get a little more creative. That's what I love about Canva. And honestly, Kevin, anytime you come up with hacks, I want to hear those things because Canva is such a powerful tool. I don't think we can talk about it enough. Literally. And granted, I think all three of us are on the pro, but all three of us started on the free, if I'm correct on that, right? And we saw
That's
so
true.
much value. We were probably back then, what was it? We had to pay $1 for that image, right? Do you guys remember that? And then they included it with the pro, and it was like, this is no brainer stuff. And then the videos and the music, like Canva, literally. Now, and Dory, you can help me with this because I don't use Adobe. My son feels like Adobe is still more powerful. Is that a fair statement? Especially for
Okay.
thumbnails, at least he says.
So here's the thing. I use both. I mean, I'm born and bred on Adobe from my educator position. So I feel very comfortable and confident building inside Photoshop and all of the Adobe suite programs. But you can also tell your son that I use Canva very heavily for, and I'll tell you why. The stuff that it would take me creating from scratch inside Photoshop, Canva has a lot of those tools built in, like the texturing, things like that. Whereas if let's say, for example, I don't know, let me grab the closest thing to me, which is a sweatshirt for whatever reason, right? Like, let's say I wanted this texture and this pattern to be inside my lettering, right? I would have to open this image in Photoshop. I would have to create a pattern preset for it. And then I could use that pattern preset to fill in letters or an image or whatever. With Canva, it's literally drag and drop. Canva is more drag and drop. And I would say for people that don't have formal training, Canva is more user friendly. So it's kind
Good
of,
tips there. Good tip.
that's a tough question because it's a double-edged sword.
But
And,
can I interject here as
yeah,
well? Adobe, you have to have a relatively strong computer to be able to use all of that
you
and the
do.
processing power. This is browser based. So you
Yep.
could even create these things on your mobile phone, whereas you can't really use Adobe Photoshop on your phone to the full extent. So
Well, you can,
there-
but you can't. You're right. Um, Anna said she loves Canva. She thinks it's one of the best softwares for her money. And she thinks it's a lot easier to use than Canva. And also, I just want to add this. Thank you, Anna. You are so sweet from the bottom of my heart. I just absolutely adore you. And we appreciate you hanging with us every week. So I'm going to leave this cliffhanger and see what you guys think about this. So, you know how Kevin just showed a trick where you could use the alphabet as a frame, right? And you can put images or what if there was a way that you could create your own frames with your own shapes or use your own font to create alphabet frames in Canva? You can do that. Maybe
Interesting.
that will be demonstrated in the near future here on C3.
talk about dangling the carrot.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, I don't know what you're talking about. That's a cliffhanger. Is there anything else you guys have for the good of the cause before we switch it on over?
Now, just that we have sort of just touched the tip of the iceberg with Canva. Like we were saying, there's a lot of things to go through and deep dive into. There's a lot of stuff that we don't even know about that Canva, they're constantly upgrading and enhancing their product. So there's new stuff in there. It's like, yeah, they're integrating AI into it. And as AI gets better, their product is going to get better. So there's still more to come with Canva, and I'm looking forward to the future and what they have to bring.
I agree. And with that,
My friends, as you can tell, Kevin brought some great value tonight. When it comes to things like this, that's exactly what we want to do. We want you to enjoy the content that we bring, and we hope that you're finding it useful. And we would love it if you'd like and subscribe. And just so you know, sharing our content is also a great way to spread the love. And you can visit our website for all the information on the ways that you can connect with us right there on your screen, linktree/content creators connect. We are on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter.
And also, leave down in the comments anything that you want us to do a deep dive in. Like Doria was saying, she has a way of actually creating your own picture frames. So I am definitely going to ask her to do a demonstration on that for a future episode. So if there's anything that you want us to dive deep into and present to you, let us know down in the comments. And with that, turn it over to Dory to wrap things up.
oh my goodness, thank you for joining Content Creators Connect, aka C3, tonight, as we heard Kevin go through some amazing tips for just spicing up your use of fonts in Canva. We will return next Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern for a very special stream. We are celebrating our 50th C3 stream. And we will be discussing in panel format some of the keys that we've learned to streaming, both on our own and as a cohort. We will be multicasting live to YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. So be sure to join us. Until then, we urge you to identify and lean into your 3 C's. Start today creating unique content that builds connections and breaks down those barriers. See you next week.
Bye. Thanks for
Bye.
joining.
See you later. Thanks for coming.